Hello everybody and welcome back to Europa, where we are currently working on things in general. Specifically, the thing that we're working on is getting things connected. And that's going to take us a little while, no doubt about it. We're working our way down towards paved roads, and we will get there in the eventual times, but that is absolutely going to take a while, and that's understood. So for right now, we're working on building a gravel road out over towards Tadjura, and that is going to take a bit. That's actually an understatement. That's going to take quite a long time. That's absolutely fine for right now. So we're looking at our overall finances here, and the question is, are there any RGOs that we want to prioritize over building the road? Well, yes, but none that are currently meeting our criteria. The criteria is 1 ducat per month. Okay, apparently our heir is an idiot. Great. Just what we wanted. So, as I was saying, the criteria is 1 ducat per month, and it has a non-deficit of laborers. So at this time, that's not looking like there's anything to invest in there. What about buildings? Well, I'm going with the same vague criteria, and that's a no there as well. Now, in reality, if I wanted to invest heavily in the RGOs right now, I would probably not make that be the criteria. I'd probably make the criteria be more like 0.75 or so on the ducats, somewhere around there. But I really want to be investing much more heavily in our roads at this moment, because once we get paved roads, having an existing gravel road network, even if it doesn't do much for us right now, I think will be extraordinarily beneficial once we're trying to get paved roads rolled out. Because I suspect that it's much easier to make a paved road if you already have a gravel road. That's the theory, anyway. And we're going to need to do some prioritization on that. I don't know if it's even possible to build a paved road without a gravel road. We will find out on that. But it'll take us a while to get that research there. So we can see that we're currently making our way towards jewelry output, which is not relevant. I don't care about that. I don't think we produce much jewelry at all. So that's not anything other than bringing us further down the tree towards getting to paved road. I don't know why this is even a requirement for paved road, but okay. Our recruitment has increased, giving us 370 manpower. That would have been convenient a while ago, but as it is right now, does not really matter. So for the moment, that's absolutely fine. I was also thinking about these tribesmen that we're encouraging to settle in Sidamo. We can see that there's 4,275 of them in Soto at this moment. How much is settling per month, approximately? I'm assuming that's a somewhat variable number. Okay, about 12. So that's going to take some time, for sure. That's okay. I don't mind that. So to build from Afrira into Balo, what is this going to cost to build this road? 566 ducats is the answer. Okay, that's noted. I definitely want to get this road built to Tadjura. That's our current overall goal. I want to keep an eye on the RGOs, because there's definitely some RGOs that may become eligible, such as these right down here, specifically Kubar. But as of this moment, it's below our threshold. So I'm sticking to that for the moment. We are going to want to build another upgrade in Gondar eventually as our laborers improve here. So how long do we have on those? If we check in here, this is not telling me how long it's going to be in Gondar. Okay. That's exciting. We could calculate it. We know that this is going to be plus 11. So, I mean, we could definitely calculate that. Be like 44 months. That's fine. I'm just going to leave it be for the time being. I don't think there's any RGOs that are technically within threshold. There are definitely some that I'd like to build, but we need to get our connections built up elsewhere. I think that's a very high priority at this moment. So that's why I'm keeping the threshold for that rather high at this time. So we're currently about 5 months away from being able to build another road segment, and that is good. We definitely do want to get that underway as soon as we can. We're also a little concerned about our sailor count, so we might want to spend a little bit of money on monthly, say, if I can type, sailors. What do we got here? So this would be a fishing village that would be going in like, probably Ed is where this would end up going. I'm wondering what the control level out over here is. 17%, this is 0%, and this is 0%. So we're currently at, what is the actual number? -0, but it's unclear. How much would this cost us? 73 ducats? I'm doing it. So we're just going to try to bring ourselves positive in our monthly sailors for the moment. So I'm just building that singular fishing village and hoping that that brings our rounding around. Okay, so there's jewelry output completed. Fantastic. We're now working on whatever this is. Skill of new artists. Okay, from artistic prints. Cool. So we do want to get this road constructed down over here. That's currently 563.94 ducats. And we need to keep in mind that cost is going to come down as our inflation comes down. Our inflation is still at 115%. So we're still looking at quite a number of episodes before this reaches 0. And we knew that was going to be the case. But we're finally in a halfway decent position economically, and that is great. So we'll have enough to get this constructed fairly soon at this moment. With that small delay, we are looking at somewhere around 3 month ticks, so now about 2 month ticks, assuming that our income holds, which it doesn't, but we'll see if it's at all close. So about 2 months. Attracting the right people, huh? We gained prestige. I mean, it's going to be gone very soon. We are still sacking our prestige. We're deliberately allowing this to drop. It's that lack of rivals that's really hurting us. Do we have any rivals that we can make at this moment? That's our disloyal subjects. Where are our lack of rivals up here? I know it's one of these notifications. That's a non-integrated province. Yes, I'm aware of that. Hang on, it's one of these. We have a lack of commander in our navy. Here it is, possible rivals. Okay, so we're actually perfectly balanced with the Canaan Empire. They vassalized Kordofan, and Upper Butana would be a bit of a buffer state. Well, we can definitely do this. That will help our situation here, but we still have lack of rivals 3. So we can't really rival any of these others. I don't have any reason to want to rival any of them at this time. We're still going to be sacking our prestige, but it's a little less. Okay. That seems fine by me. So we see Upper Butana is heavily investing in stuff. I mean, that's great. We're going to get them annexed eventually. Eventually. So down over this direction, we want to build our road down over to here. It's now 602 ducats. That has risen in price. I wonder, 592, if we build it this way, that's 40 ducats cheaper. Why? I don't know. But it's 40 ducats cheaper to go here to here than it is to go from here to here. That's just insane to me. I don't know why that's the case. So if we checked in here, we can see that this would cost only 310. And then this, if we go this direction, would cost the same 310, which is what I would expect. So we can get that built up very soon. And that is, of course, fantastic for us. We are delighted to see this road getting built. The next step of this road is to take it down to Berbera, and then we would connect this up over here, connecting up this entire road network down this way. Now, we wouldn't get a lot of benefit from it yet, but once we get our roads upgraded, that should be a very significant improvement for us. One thing I'm noticing, it's 1570. Where is Europe? This is Egypt down here. So, I mean, yeah. Where is Europe? I would expect them to be showing up by now. So that's interesting. So our conversion is going pretty well. We're up to 11.3% over here. I like it. That's definitely improving matters, and that's very good. We'll continue to work on that. Our institutions are continuing to be promoted, and that is, of course, fantastic. We are delighted by that. This fishing village is going to be completed in just 15 days here. And we will see, once that mobilizes up its workforce, we will see if this ends up being positive on our sailors or not. We are positive on our sailors. And it's not even mobilized the workforce yet, presumably. Okay, so that's a very good sign. That is a very good sign. We're about to get a FAR integrated. That's going to be done in September, according to this. I don't know if that's accurate. It might be done slightly before that. So getting this integrated would, of course, be fantastic. There's one more location down over here to integrate, and we'll have that done very, very soon. But we want to get this road built, and we know that this is a fairly cheap road. 311 ducats, and we are delighted by that. So we're going to get this constructed fairly soon here. That's what, like 2 month ticks away at this point? I like it. So that seems excellent. We'll just wait on that, and we'll get this built in. Although I do want to check in on our RGOs. I doubt that there's really any to be built at this moment. Let's just see here. Well, we could. There's definitely arguments to be made. I think I will do it after we get this road segment constructed. So yeah, that's going to be in the next month tick, and that'll just get us connected down to Tajura, which will be a very big deal for us. Okay. Yep, that's fine. Let's get that going. Cool. So, okay, it's showing both of them as being here. Sure, that's fine. So lumber is going to be a bit of a concern, looks like. We'll see if that ends up being a thing. This is, of course, off in a different market, and that's absolutely understood. So I just finished integrating a FAR, and that's wonderful. We've got this guy available. Our ruler wants to write a treatise, I guess. Why not? Sure. It's okay. He can do that. So our cabinet has finished integrating a FAR. Our ruler is incompetent because of that. He's busy focusing on his writings, and that's understood. So we'll see what effect that ends up having as we make decisions later on. But for now, I want to do one final province integration of Ajan, which is already 48% done. So we'll get that going, and these last two locations will get integrated. We can hold a parliament, which we absolutely should do. What are we looking at here? I'm thinking promote castle works, but I'm not hugely enthused about it. It'll pass, and I mean, that's fine. Granting export licenses, huh? Honestly, the nobles could probably use that additional satisfaction equilibrium. We don't need it in the burghers, and we can just eat it up with taxes. That's the idea here. So that seems absolutely fine. Yeah, I'm delighted by that, actually. So that looks good. Next up, I want to build a couple of RGOs. So we're going to hop into here. And the RGOs that we're going to build is definitely going to be in Afrira. That is going to be a very high priority indeed. 106 ducats. That's a little more expensive than I expected. But we do have multiple RGOs that we want to get built now that we have this stretch of road under construction. So we're going to definitely build here, get that underway immediately. Now, in 3 to 4 months, we'll be able to get a construction going in Gondar, which will definitely be something that we want. Getting that cotton going there will be useful. And yeah, I think right now there's not a huge amount of point to making additional cities until we have everything connected up. Once we have our road infrastructure built, then I think we start thinking about constructing cities. That's what I'm thinking at this moment. Because I definitely do want to start constructing some cities. There's no doubt about that. Maritime dominance in Marique, huh? So we lost some support in Parliament, and that basically means that we need to give autonomy support. That's fine, but I'm not happy about it. I don't want to do that, but it's okay. We'll accept that for the moment. So now back in our RGO production, we want to get one going in Gondar on this month tick. There we go. We can't quite afford it. We are short 0.42 ducats. Well, that's unfortunate. We also can't build down here either. These are all the same price, so that's understood. We'll just have to wait another month tick. So we'll get this going in Gondar. And what do we get here? Minus 90 ducats or 5% support in Parliament. We can take the Parliament loss. That's not an issue. We've got plenty of Parliament support for now. So I'm not concerned about that one. Cool. So next up, I want to build in Kasogi. Technically, Dengila is under our threshold. So I'm not going to build there just yet unless that comes up, which it just did. And that now means we are eligible to construct here. We are going to need to wait 2 month ticks before we can get any additional RGO constructions going. So that's fine. I'm not particularly happy about it because it means we're going to be wasting some production time. Well, specifically, we're going to be wasting some promotion time. But that's fine. It's not the biggest of deals. So next month tick, we'll be able to build in either Kasogi or Dengila. It doesn't really matter which it is. I could make an argument for both. But I'm going to go for the higher tax base at this time. We could make the argument that Dengila is going to run out of promotion time sooner, but I'm going to go for the tax base here. So that looks okay for now. And we're still working up our stability. It's relatively fine for the moment. I'm not too concerned about that one. So checking in here, we are currently working on regulate court procedures, which will reduce our expected cost of court. Speaking of which, we are at 100 legitimacy right now. And that means that we can cut down our cost of court to right here. Consider it done. That means that we'll be able to build our RGOs just that much faster. It's not very much faster, but it's slightly faster. So we'll definitely get that going. Here in Dengila, I'm going to get this constructed on this month tick, I think? No, next month tick. We only got 30-some. I was expecting 40-some. It's okay. Our heir could have better education. That's fine. I'm not too concerned about our heir's education right now. So everything is looking okay for the moment. When is this guy going to be done writing his epic? Does this say? Focused on writing until their death. Okay. I didn't realize that was until their death. I thought it was just until he finishes his book. But no, he's going to do that for the rest of his life. Okay, sure. Noted. So next we're working on statecraft, which is going to boost our crown power by 10%. That's actually a big deal. Oh, and our ruler is now insane. Okay, honestly, we're already basically at 0 diplomacy, and I'm going to take that. Okay. We have basically no stats at this point. That's that's real interesting. I do want to get that RGO building, so let's go ahead and do that. We've got the money for it. Let's hop into the RGO builder, and that would mean constructing in Danglia, like that. Cool. So that is now underway, and we should be fine here for a pretty decent amount of time as we continue to work on our road constructions. So the next step, as I said, is to run the road down the coastline to Berbera. And eventually we'll want this to be a triangle formation here with roads, but for now it's probably not that big of a deal. So how much is it going to cost to run the road from Tajura to Ali Sabi? Oh, it wants to... Oh, okay, just directly here. 226. That is cheap. Okay, so that's pretty good. Yeah, I'm happy with that. 226 is quite cheap. So that looks great. As we can see here, we have reduced our number of tribesmen in Sidamo quite a lot, and we've increased our Miaphysite population in Ifat quite a lot as well. We're going to get Ifat integrated eventually. This is currently saying 1590. I'm not sure how real those numbers are. We've noticed in the past that they are not particularly trustworthy, so we'll keep an eye on that. But I definitely want to get this road constructing to Ali Sabieh as soon as possible. This is going to be in about 2 months that we're going to be able to get this going. So that is excellent. Our ruler is absolutely awful at what he does, but, I mean, I guess it's fine. One thing we could think about doing is having him abdicate once our crown princess comes of age. Unfortunately, she's not very smart. So there's that. We'll see what happens with that. It's okay for now. I'm not too concerned about it. I haven't noticed any major impact on the ruler stats. I mean, this does give, you know, things like crown power and such like that. That's neat, right? But honestly, I kind of want to optimize things to not use those anyway, because the ruler changes pretty frequently. So we're just going to head on down over here and just continue this road construction for right now. That looks good. Again, the main goal is to get it down to Berbera, and then we just need the singular connection to Dakar, and that gets this entire road chunk underway down here. Then we can do a similar little passage out this way, and we could go like here, and then there's already this is a river connection here. Okay, so we would go from like here to here to here to like Limey, and then that would be this connection of road down here. So that's all understood. If we check in on this queue here, we can see we're actually really close to paved road. Really close to paved road. That is not the button I was trying to hit. I was trying to hit my mute button, and I hit the change scene button. I apologize for that. That was awkward. That was very awkward. That was not the button I'm going for. Okay, let's try this again. That's the button I was going for. Fantastic. Okay, so as I was saying, I want to get this road built down here. I want to get this road built over here. But we're very close to getting paved roads. And we'll see what happens as far as upgrading these, how much that's going to cost, and how it works to build a paved road in a position where there's not an existing gravel road. That's going to be an interesting question, because that might mean that we want to continue laying out these gravel roads for a while, depending on how that's implemented, or we might just want to directly build paved roads from then on. We will see how that ends up going. But the other interesting thing here, what is this? Sure, we made another masterpiece. So the other interesting thing here is, if we check in here, we can see right next to this, there's an additional cabinet seat. And I'm just going to add that to our research queue right away. There's power projection down here, which is probably a decent thing to grab. There's population growth, lumber output. There's some good stuff over here. No doubt about it. We're going to want to go after some of that, for sure. But paved roads is our priority for now. So the next question is, how much will it cost us? We can lose some estate satisfaction from the merchants. That's actually fine. I don't mind that. So we can start to build a road down this direction. That's going to cost 250 gold. We'll have enough to do that on this month tick. Done. So that is now underway, and what is this road being built? Gravel road to Mora. To Mora. It's building down to here. I didn't queue that up. Yeah, that's an estate construction. This is the merchants that's building that. That's cool. I'm glad they're doing that. So we've researched statecraft, giving us 10% crown power, which is, of course, a very important thing. If we go into our economy here and into our balance, we can see that crown power is directly increasing, or right now it's decreasing, but it's directly increasing our tax efficiency from having that boost. If we look at our overall crown power, we can go into our estates and look at our crown power here. So we can see that right now our estate power is pretty low. This is mostly due to what? Well, our ruler's administrative ability is very low, so there is that. We'd like to bring up our crown power a little more, but that 10% crown power just flat, that's going to be huge. So that's excellent. I don't think that was like taking us from 11% to 21%. I think that's a 10% increase over our existing crown power. So that's absolutely fine. We are delighted to have that. But paved roads are on their way in. So we're currently building from here to here. If we wanted to build a gravel road from here to here, it's going to cost 323 ducats. So that's not too bad. We'll definitely get that going, but it is about time to put a cut in here. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And next episode, we are going to continue to work on building these roads out, and we'll see how this paved road setup ends up working, because we will have that next episode. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and a very special thank you to all of the channel members for making this video possible, including ALS Gamer, Dark Horse, Ethan Feldman, Silo K, The Omniscient, Upper Cumberland Gamers, Punching the Microphone, Nick Smarty, The Lounge STL, Spock, Moonfall, and all the rest. That felt weird. Did I miss somebody? Hang on. And of course, you. Thank you for watching. If you'd like to support the channel, you can click the join button down below the video. And yeah, if I missed you in the council member call out there, I apologize for that. I feel like I missed somebody, but I'm not sure who. Maybe it was Dark Horse? I'm not 100%, but I apologize for that if I missed somebody. I will see you all next time.